Now, you point out in the book that you couldn't vaccinate all the children in the world by yourselves. The Gates Foundation had good resources, but not unlimited power to do everything. So you had to engage countries. And you point out in the book that one time you went to meet with President Chirac of France, and you didn't have shoes that were appropriate. What happened?
Well, what we learned as we were doing the work was that the vaccine industry wasn't even producing enough vaccines for kids in low-income countries effectively. And so we needed to restructure the way the world financed vaccines. We put a proposal together for the world's for a big and first social impact bond to solve that problem. And we were effectively seeking France's support to make that bond viable. And so Bill and I met with President Chirac at the Élysée Palace, and I was coming from Seattle, and I just had old shoes and I had actually left the new shoes I bought for the meeting back in Seattle. And so I was wearing shoes that had a little hole in the bottom of it. And I was just self-conscious about that. And so we sat in the meeting, and the meeting went great. President Chirac said, we're not only going to make this happen, but I'm going to direct my finance minister, Nicolas Sarkozy, to create this project with you guys. And that ended up transforming global immunization and vaccinating nearly 1 billion children over 20 years. But when I called Rick to ask him about what Bill thought of the meeting, which I thought was a home run, he was sort of ribbing me a little bit and said, well, Bill thought the meeting was fine from a content perspective, but he was really concerned about your footwear. And at the time, I was just a young kid working at the Gates Foundation. I was terrified that that was actually true. And I learned they were just making fun of me.